Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Colton and today we have something really exciting to show you all. But before I begin, I want to introduce my fantastic team. We have Melissa, Alex, Io, and Tony. They've been working day in and day out to get this system off the ground, make it as effective as possible. So we developed a system called TU To Do, which was focused on the Student Athlete Academic Advising Center here at Temple University. So I'm going to be talking about the current and updated business process, as well as the system users, the technology that we have behind the system, and then we're actually going to dive into the system itself, in which I will walk you guys through a day in the life of an academic advisor. Then we're going to cover what we've learned through this entire process, what is to be expected as far as application support, and then we will close it all up in the end. So with this current business process, academic advisors are responsible for monitoring and guiding student athletes throughout their academic career. So every week they'll sit down with these athletes and discuss their workloads, what they have coming up, their grades, as well as any resources that they can provide these athletes. So they have around 40 plus athletes, and they monitor these athletes throughout the year using many different applications such as Word, Excel, Grade First, and any application they deem fit to monitor these students. So it is a very manual process, especially at the beginning of the year. All these students are bringing in syllabuses, all their courses, all their information. These academic advisors have to do manually. They also have to generate coaching reports every month, in which they'll sit down with the coach and present them with how well those students have been doing in their classes. There isn't much historical data in which they can go back and look, how did this student perform in past semesters? So with this future business process, you now have one application to meet all your academic advising needs. We have a simple student upload, which allows you at the beginning of the year, academic advisors can request an Excel sheet from the department, which lists all their student information. With this, they can upload it directly to the system, which is extremely important because this saves academic advisors a tremendous amount of time. They can also download student information so that they can easily generate coaching reports, which also saves them a tremendous amount of time. Academic advisors can also send these students an email with their entire weekly assignments that they're responsible for. So with a couple clicks of a button, the student can then upload it to Google Calendar. We also imported historical analysis, which allows academic advisors to look back on previous semesters. For example, let's say I want to see as an academic advisor how a student struggled at what point in time of last semester, so you can easily go back and get that information. So as far as the system users go, we really only have one user, which is the academic advisor. Students have indirect access through their Google Mail and their Google Calendar. So the reason why we show the technology behind this is because we really want to emphasize the fact that this platform is built on responsive design, which means no matter what platform you're using, whether that's a mobile device, whether that's a laptop, a tablet, a desktop, this application will run on all of them. So now for the fun part, let's dive into the system itself, and I will walk you guys through a day in the life of an academic advisor. So it's the beginning of the year, and as an academic advisor, I need to first log into my system. So once we're logged in, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to need to set the term for the entire system. It is spring 2017, so I need to make sure this system is in that term. So we're going to go ahead, click admin. We're going to go find spring 2017. And perfect, now the entire system is set to spring 2017. In the case that we couldn't find the term, what we would do is go create a new term. Or in the case that Temple University decides to add or subtract sports, positions, or subjects, you do have that capability here. And also, advisors have the permission to add any users they would like to this system. So it's the beginning of the year, and I just received my upload from the department with all student information. So the first thing that I need to do is go to add student. And here is where I can actually upload all the students that I received from that Excel sheet. And again, as an academic advisor, this saves me a tremendous amount of time. So let's say a student by the name of Alex Herbert, he decides to transfer from Penn State to Temple University. He's the star quarterback, and he's moving here because, well, Temple's football is a lot better. So because it is 3 weeks into the semester, we can't include him in the batch upload, so we're going to add him individually. We'll type in his TUID. He's a very good student, so we're going to go ahead and give him a 4.0. He is a junior. Football and a quarterback. Perfect. Alex is now in our system. So something Alex did when he walked into my office was he actually presented me with all of his syllabuses, all of his courses that he's currently taking for this semester. So what we're going to do is actually look for his first course that he presented me, which is Intro to Accounting. So conveniently enough, Intro to Accounting is at the top of the list, so we're going to go ahead and click it. So from the top, you'll see all the courses, demographics, as far as course information, professor information, and add student to course. Now this is where we're going to add Alex into this course. So why this is important is that all the assignments that are currently connected to this course are going to be connected to Alex's profile. This, as an academic advisor, saves me a tremendous amount of time that I don't have to spend manually typing in all these assignments for Alex. So in the case that there is extra assignments throughout the year, you can easily go and add assignments to this course. Then you can also view course assignments, which we're going to do in a second. Let's go ahead and add Alex to the system. There he is. Let's scroll down to see him. Perfect. There he is. He is now included in this section. So let's go ahead and view course assignments. So these are all the assignments that Alex will be responsible for throughout the year for this course. And we're going to show you how all these assignments are going to connect to his profile in a second. But in the case that Intro to Accounting wasn't in the system, we would go to add courses. We would go add all the course information, all the professor information, and then that course would now be in the system. So let's go ahead and find Alex within this system. So we'll type in his first name. Perfect. There he is. So as you can see at the top, there is all the information that we inputted earlier, along with some of the information we gathered from Banner. Then we have deactivate student in the case that Alex decides to transfer back to Penn State, which he won't, or just be removed from the athletic system in general. We can easily deactivate him. Below is his week's assignment. Looks like he has 3 assignments. And then we have a send to-do list, which allows the academic advisor to send all these weekly assignments to Alex. So with just a few clicks of a button, he can upload them to his Google Calendar. In the case that I want to send him or give him an actual physical copy, we would click download weekly to-do list so that walking out of my office, Alex knows exactly what he has to do for that week. Then at the bottom, you'll see all the courses that Alex is currently registered for in this system. So let's say a couple weeks go by and Alex presents me with one of his grades. It was his quiz 1 grade. So what we're going to do is actually go to view all assignments. We're going to find quiz 1. And we are going to give him a grade. Looks like he got a 90 for this quiz, so well done, Alex. there you go. One last thing I want to point out before we close is the download assignments. So what this allows the academic advisor to do is to download all of the assignments and progress that Alex has had through this semester so that I can generate the coaching report very simply. Perfect. And that is a walk through the day of an academic advisor. So we're going to go ahead and go back to the PowerPoint. So what we've learned from this process is to first ask a lot of questions. We found with that the better communication we had with our client, the easier it was to tailor our solution to meet their business pains and the issues that they were having in their current business process. We also learned to keep in mind time constraints. As we were going through this process, there were so many other ideas we came up with to make this system more effective for the academic advisor. So keeping that minimal viable product in line, which was the solution you just saw, was imperative for us. And keeping that scope in mind was extremely important. So what's next? We're going to be deploying the application and then providing support for the next 30 days. And we're also going to be training the main users so that when they integrate this into their environment, they'll be more comfortable and confident in using it. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it all up. So this system is going to facilitate the academic advising process, and it's going to improve the quality substantially. Through centralization, you now have one platform in which all your academic advising needs can be met. Through automations, no more manual, tedious work at the beginning of those semesters to get that student information and get all the information needed to generate those reports. Through historical data, you can now look back on the students' progress throughout the year to add quality to your academic advising process. And students will now be able to look at their Google Calendars to see what workload they have due for that week. This system is going to make the academic advising process more effective, more efficient, and to improve the quality overall of academic progress for both the students and the academic advisor. Thank you. Anybody have any questions?